Guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. And if you're new here, my name is Nishitha. I would love for you guys to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to get this beautiful rose gold smoky eye. And the best part is I used all affordable products to get this look. Since Navaratri is right around the corner, I wanted to create a fun, colorful yet wearable smoky eye for the festive season. So if you guys want to know how I got this look and all the affordable products that I used, then please keep watching. So I've already filled in my brows using the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Gel Liner. First I'm taking my Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer to prime my eyelids to create a blank canvas and using a brush to blend everything out. And then I'm going to set the concealer in place using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. Moving on to eyes, I'm taking the Perception palette. First, I'm going to take the shade Culture and put this pretty much everywhere in my crease. I really want to blow out this eyeshadow all over my crease. So I'm going up until my brow bone. For my second transition shade, I'm going to take Thick and concentrate this mainly in my socket and blend it upwards into the shade Culture. I'm going to go back and forth until I get the intensity that I want. I want this shadow to be pretty intense as well. For all over my lid, I'm taking the Colourpop SuperNova Shadow in the shade Hard to Empress and putting this in the inner 1/3 of my lid area. As you can see, instead of using a concealer, I'm using this liquid eyeshadow to kind of do a cut crease. And I also like to go a little bit above my actual lid space into the socket to kind of give you the illusion that I have more lid space than I actually do. And then I'm taking the shade Revenge from the Perception palette and blending out the shimmery edges. And I'm gonna blend out the edges in the socket as well. And again, I'm gonna go back into that Revenge shade, build up the color to kind of get the intensity of the transition that I want. I wanted to transition from the shimmery shadow to the Revenge shadow and then to a deep brown. I'm taking the shade Played Out from the same palette and I'm going to concentrate this mainly in the outer V and closer to my lash line. That's where I want to start, and at the same time I'm making sure it's matching my other eye. Since it's a darker color, I want to take my time, slowly build up the color, draw this kind of like a C shape and shape out my eyeshadows as in whole. And then I'm going to slightly drag that into my socket. Since it's a dark color, I would say take your time, slowly build it up. That's what I'm doing here. As you can see, I'm like being very careful with this eyeshadow. And then I'm taking the shade Thick and giving everything one last blend. So I applied some Ardell Wispies off camera. Now I'm going to move on to my face. For primer, I'm using my favorite NYX Angel Well Blur primer, and I'm concentrating this mainly on the centers of my face where I want to blur my skin a little bit, which this particular primer does. For foundation, I'm using my current favorite NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. If you have normal to oily skin, I highly recommend you try this out. So since it's a full coverage foundation, I like to spread it out across my face and then take my damp beauty blender to blend it all out. With high coverage foundations, I like to use as little of foundation as I can. If you apply too much, you run the risk of caking up your foundation base, which none of us want. So I'm taking my time, adding a little bit at a time, because you can always add more if you need it, but I would always recommend use your foundations very sparingly. Then I'm taking my Pixie Makeup Mist, spritzing my sponge a little bit. Since this is a matte full coverage foundation, this particular step is going to help add one extra layer of hydration to your skin, and at the same time it's going to take care of any dryness or any cakiness that you might have going on. So this technique really helps if you have dry skin. For concealer, I'm taking my favorite combo and my favorite concealer, which is the Maybelline Age Rewind. First, I'm taking the shade Caramel, which is closer to my skin tone, and I'm applying that underneath my eyes. Then to highlight a little bit more, I'm using the same concealer in the shade Medium. This is going to, mainly highlight. This particular combo helps conceal underneath my eyes, at the same time highlight them, and blending it all out using my damp beauty sponge. For contour, I'm taking the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is in the shade Cocoa, which is, as you can see, it's a few shades darker than my skin tone. So I'm applying this underneath my cheekbones and on my jawline just to, add some warmth to my skin, at the same time add a little bit of shadows. And I'm using this e.l.f. Duo Fiber brush to blend out the contour. And I'm also blending it on my nose using my fingers and the brush at the same time. And then I'm taking my beauty blender and going over everything. Since it already has some foundation when I used it for foundation application, I'm also, cleaning up underneath my contour a little bit without having to, use extra product. Then I'm setting the concealer in place using my Fit Me Loose powder in the shade Medium, which is my favorite powder from the drugstore. Going back to my lower lash line, I'm taking the shade Thick and applying that pretty much everywhere on my lower lash line, and I'm going to really buff this out. Then on a smaller pencil brush, I'm taking the shade Played Out and applying this closer to my lower lash line and mainly concentrating this on the outer V. Then I'm taking the shade Strut and Slay and applying this in the inner 1/3 of my lower lash line just to, add some pop. For my lower lashes, I'm taking the Maybelline Temptation Mascara and coating them. Moving back to face, I'm taking this blush combination from the NYX Cheeks palette and applying that to the apples of my cheeks. These are very pigmented, so you wanna, use a really light hand. And with whatever blush is left on the brush, I'm dragging that onto my nose because I just love doing this. For my highlight, I'm using the Essence Satin Touch Highlighter. This is the new shade that they've come out with and I absolutely love this one. And I'm concentrating this mainly on the high points of my cheeks. And I'm also going to apply this underneath my brow bone and on the bridge of my nose. Then taking the same Pixie mist that I've been using throughout the tutorial and setting all the makeup in place just to, nicely melt all the powders together. For lips, I'm taking the Colourpop Ultra Satin Lip. This is in the shade Frickin' Frack. First, I'm lining my lips and then I'm gonna fill them in. On top of that, I'm taking the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Abu Dhabi to mute down the Colourpop color a little bit, and I absolutely love this lip combo. Completes this makeup look. I added some Jhumka off camera. I'll leave a link to these in the description box down below. I got these from a vendor on Instagram. I'll leave a link to her page in the description box down below. And also I just loved how this makeup look turned out. To be honest, when I first started off, I was gonna remove it off because I didn't like where it was headed. But I decided to continue and I'm glad I did because I just love how this makeup look turned out. And I'm really happy that I used all affordable products for this makeup look. Please give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you liked it. And let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do more affordable Indian makeup looks. I'll continue to do them. Thank you so much for watching and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any of my uploads. I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.